And we're getting underway right away here. River City Lanes in Waterford, the site for the 2016 Bowlers Pro Shop Classic. I'm Phil Brylow here with you today. Our girls' championship match starting off, Stephanie Fallebeck against Tatum Ruffalo. Fallebeck starting off here on lane 9 at River City Lanes. Good shot off the port side for Fallebeck. Rings up that 7-pin. Format for today's television finals here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. We'll see our girls' championship match first. Our boys' championship match featuring Tyler Hirth versus Billy Hibbard will be next. And the winners of each of those matches will be facing off in the challenge match. Or in addition to the prizes won earlier today, the challenge match winner will receive a $100 Visa gift card courtesy of River City Lanes. And unfortunately for Fallebeck, ball falls into the gutter just short of the 7-pin in an open frame. Frame number 1. First time on TV for Tatum Ruffalo. Ruffalo out of right here in Waterford. Bowls here at River City Lanes. Also bowls at Alpine Lanes. And her favorite pro bowler, Shannon Pluhowski, who's had some great years on Team USA and now at the PWBA is back in action. Pluhowski won a title last year on the PWBA Tour. Was also in the top 24 at the PBA Players Championship in Columbus, Ohio. So another solid year for Pluhowski. Unfortunately for Ruffalo, her first shot on TV slightly errant, leaving the 4, 7, and 10. Best thing in this situation, take the 2 and move on, which she does. I want to thank Joe Serrar, Dennis Jerez, Mickey Serrar at Bowlers Pro Shop Milwaukee for their sponsorship of this event. Always appreciate it when Joe can get on commentary as well. Joe Serrar and Van McNeil both on a little summer break right now, so we're handling the commentary duties for this show by myself. Ruffalo in the second frame gets that ball to face the pocket nicely, and the 6 does the job on the 10. And our first mark is on the board. Stephanie Fallebeck, as you remember earlier this season, teamed up with Ryan Wildenberg to win the Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship from Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy. Fallebeck will be attending Robert Morris University in Chicago this fall, and Fallebeck gets a nice kick of the 4 on the 7 to match Ruffalo's strike in the second frame. Fallebeck, a great year with Indian Trail High School once again. Another great performance at the state tournament for Indian Trail. Bowlers are bowling on the 41-foot Montreal World 10-Pin Bowling Association pattern today. A little lighter volume of oil on the outside. If you play direct, if you try to take the ball away from the pocket, we saw a lot of 2-10 combinations for the right-handers, 3-7s for the lefties. If they were trying to swing it too far, even though there was 19 foot of dry on this pattern. So the key is get the ball to face properly and have it save enough energy to take all 10 pins out. And a good shot there by Ruffalo. Unfortunately, the 6 that time doesn't quite get to the 10 pin as we watch the replay here. Watch the 6 bounce around the flat gutter. Almost gets the head of the pin back onto the 10. She'll move cross lane for that spare. Switch to a plastic bowling ball. And just enough on the lane. You see a little smirk from Tatum on the way back. And you'd still see a little bit with the nerves on the face. First time on TV is never easy. She bowls in a lot of tournaments whenever she has free time around the Midwest. Also want to thank her mom, Terry Ruffalo, her dad Matt Zanella, for all the help they give to her bowling. And right back in the pocket for Ruffalo, and 10 down in the fourth frame, but that leaves Followbeck in the lead by 10 pins, with Followbeck working on a double. Watch how strong that ball's rolling. The last 5 feet in the pocket, retains the proper amount of energy through the pocket, no deflection, all 10 pins down. Followbeck, you can see she's got a little bit of drift into the target line the last step. Great thing to have to help the ball get on the target line. Unfortunately, a little quick out of the hand contributes to the 3-9 being left. And any railroad on this tough of a pattern, the oil ratio on this pattern is about 2-to-1. So it's definitely a PBA Tour or PWBA type pattern that professional bowlers would see on a week-to-week basis. Only 3 bowlers averaged 200 during the qualifying round today, one of them being Tatum Ruffalo. Stephanie Followbeck averaging just over 193, make the show in second place for the girls. Show you how tough this pattern played. Overall field average for the girls was just over 160, so Tatum Ruffalo, with her 215 averaged almost 50 pins higher than the field did for the girls. And Followbeck, with her strike in the high 5 gear 5th frame, that's going to net her a $25 gift certificate, good for clothing or accessories from High 5 Gear. I want to thank Todd Molbeck and all of his staff at High 5 Gear for their support once again of our televised events. And Ruffalo on lane 10 can't get that ball to quite face up properly. And her second consecutive 10 pin on that lane. 6 pin just does not want to do the job. She should have not much of a problem on the spare. Very solid spare shooter. Right into that 10 pin. Perfectly done, but only has that 4-pin lead thanks to Followbeck's open frame in the 4th frame. Can maintain that lead if she can strike here. Frame number 6. Very simple, easy on the body game for Ruffalo. Up through the shot. And that ball, a little slow out of the hand, a little left out of the hand, and with his little target area miss room they have on this Montreal pattern, no chance to break up that 4-10 split. And unless there's a conversion here, Stephanie Followbeck will take the lead back while she's on the bench during the commercial break. Ruffalo gets the one, hands the lead back to Followbeck. We'll be back with the rest of this girls' championship for the 2016 Bowlers Pro Shop Classic from River City Lanes in Waterford after this short break. Providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com. Back at River City Lanes in Waterford, the 2016 Bowlers Pro Shop Classic, part of our summer Road to Gold series, here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel for the youth bowlers. Stephanie Followbeck took the lead while on the bench. In the 6th frame, Tatum Ruffalo leaving a 4-10. And not able to convert going into the commercial break. And you can see on that shot for Fallebeck, right of target, fast, and a little too direct. And the way that ball sliced through, high on the head pin. No chance to break up the 6, 7, and 10. Without a conversion, the lead will go back to Ruffalo with only 4 frames remaining in this girls' championship. Make sure not to lose the count. Fallebeck gets 2 pins, leaves her down by 3 in the match. Fallebeck and Ruffalo, they battle out all season long. In high school bowling, District 3A's, the Racine and Kenosha areas. Fallebeck was in the top 20 in fill percentage, which just measures the amount of strikes and spares against the number of frames bowled. And that ball errant wide left, 1, 3, 6, and 8, the combination left for Fallebeck. Fallebeck's fill percentage during the high school season this year, 77.8, being that top 20. But Tatum Ruffalo, her opponent, struck almost 50% of the time she was on the lanes in high school bowling and had an overall fill percentage of 87.5%. So when these bowlers aren't getting all 10 pins down, most of the time they're converting their spares, but now back-to-back open frames for Fallebeck on this very tough Montreal World 10 Pin Bowling Association lane pattern. And that puts her deep in a deficit against Ruffalo. Ruffalo working on an open, but has a chance to double here and really extend that lead. Ruffalo likes to go camping and fishing when she's not out on the lanes. And that ball right there, you can see it came off the hand a little quick. Not the real strong rotation we're used to from Tatum Ruffalo. That ball, watch it deflect when it gets to the pocket. Goes back almost through the 9-pin spot, and that bit of deflection as compared to previous shots causes that 10-pin to remain standing. Ruffalo with another 10-pin attempt. That needs to hold on, and it falls off the lane. And now a couple of errant frames in a row by both players, Fallebeck and Ruffalo, leaves Ruffalo with only a 3-pin lead with 3 frames to go. Ruffalo wanted to make sure she thanked Jim Nanaman, who runs the pro shop here at River City Lanes, for all of his pro shop and coaching work. And another great shot for Ruffalo on lane 9. She's able to get that ball to face up a little bit quicker, roll properly through the pocket on 9 as compared to 10. And we see that very often here on our Time Warner Cable Sports Channel bowling telecasts. One lane plays a little tighter than the other, one lane hooks a little earlier than the other, and the bowler can get a good look on one lane and a not so good look on the other. And a bad look right out of the hand there for Fallebeck, really rushing the line. That's just a mental error on her part. Lucky to leave just the 5-pin to convert as you watch the ball in the crossover. Gets the 8 out of the way, so takes out any chance of a chop. Needs to convert this to stay close in the match. 5 steps, that quick 3rd and 4th step to get into that long, powerful slide. Hooks it into the 5-pin, no problem covering it up. 2 frames to go, Fallebeck down by 3 pins. I want to thank the support of Eileen's Bowling Buddy for all of our youth telecasts, this Road to Gold Summer Series as well. If you're looking for some great coaching and training aids for bowling, great ways to work on your balance, just go to eileensbowlingbuddy.com and they can get you all kinds of training tools to help you keep sharp during the summer when you may leave the bowling balls in the garage. And that's the shot we've been looking for from Fallebeck since the 5th frame. Lets the ball roll off her hand nicely. The deep knee bend at the line helps her create that powerful, soft roll off her hand. 5-pin blows into the 10. 7 would have tried the stood. It would have been knocked over. And now the key for Ruffalo, getting that 10 pin out. 3 of her previous 4 shots on this lane 10. She hasn't been able to get the 10 out. That time the 6 kicks the 10. You can see the difference on the roll in that shot in the 9th frame as compared to the shot in the 5th. The strength of the roll, watch the ball go through the pocket. Not much deflection. And enough strength where the 6-pin kicks off the sideboard and takes out the 10 instead of falling flat in the gutter and not doing any work. To almost lock up this match, Ruffalo, a little pop-up at the line there, a little help getting that ball into the pocket. Unfortunately, a little extra rotation and a little miss left leaves her with a big split. Count here is important. She gets 2 here. She finishes with 160. Which she does. So that's going to have Fallebeck come up. Fallebeck needs to mark with good count on the fill ball in the 10th frame to advance to our challenge match against the boys match winner. Coming up, Billy Hibbard, Tyler Hirth will be battling for that boys championship here in the 2016 Bowlers Pro Shop Classic. A little extra time being taken by Fallebeck. She knows she needs the mark. Up the outside nicely, and that's the best kind of mark you can get. Ball rolls powerfully through the 1-2 pocket, splits the 8 and the 9. And now it's just a matter of staying behind the foul line with good count on this ball. Fallebeck will advance to that challenge match. Great setup. Ball just the outside the shoulder. Left foot behind the right to get in good balance at the push away. Eases it out of the hand. 4 gets out of there. 5, 6, and 10 leave the building. And that's a win for Fallebeck. Fallebeck advancing to the challenge match to take on the boys championship winner. We'll be back with that boys championship for the 2016 Bowlers Pro Shop Classic from River City Lanes in Waterford after this short break.
Barbiere's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Bluemont Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee. Providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com.
Our girls' championship has been decided. Stephanie Fallebeck, 181 over Tatum Ruffalo, 160. Fallebeck waiting in the wings for the winner of this match between Billy Hibbard and Tyler Hirth. Billy Hibbard leading things off here on lane 9 at River City Lanes in Waterford, and he splashes the rack for an opening strike. Hibbard, multiple TV appearances with us over the years. Tyler Hirth, his first singles TV appearance. Tyler bowls out of Castle Lanes in Racine, couple 300 games under his belt. And the two-hander off the left side through the nose for his opening shot on this 41-foot Montreal World 10-Pin Bowling Association pattern. Leaves the 4, 7, and 8. Not exactly the easiest combination for your first spare on TV. Switches to the one-hand approach for the spare. No problem covering it up. And you do see that with quite a few players nowadays in bowling that have gone to the two-handed style for their strike ball. Many going to the single-handed delivery with the thumb on the spare to decrease the power, go from point A to point B much better. Hirth with the big swing on the back end into the pocket, a little high, leaving a 6-pin. Tyler started bowling at the age of 6. Like many teenagers, switched to the two-handed style a few years back. Switches balls to something that hooks a bit more, goes across the lane at the 6-pin, no problem. Staying clean through 2 frames. Billy Hibbard will be attending St. Ambrose University this fall, recent graduate of McGuanago High School. Lots of players you've seen over the years in our Time Warner Cable Sports Channel telecasts deciding to go to St. Ambrose for their collegiate career. Kyle Anderson, the human pretzel. Kyle Kroll, who you recently saw the collegiate boys division at the Sean Yonan Memorial Tournament. And Brent Boho, a two-hander you've seen numerous times on our telecasts as well. All attendees at St. Ambrose. So Hibbard will be joining that prestigious program in the fall. Switches to the plastic ball. No problem covering up that 10-pin. Hibbard averaging just shy of 244 during qualifying today. He had the right look, right matchup, and made all of his spares during qualifying. Had a 104-pin lead after qualifying over Tyler Hirth. And that was probably the worst shot we've seen Billy Hibbard to throw all day, and he knows it. As we talked during the girls' match, you can give a little away to the pocket with your line. You can't give away more than 4 or 5 boards, because with the oil that's in the middle of this 41-foot Montreal pattern, it will not recover back to the pocket. And the 1, 2, and 8 successfully converted by Hibbard. It's getting warm, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure your air conditioning unit is up to speed for the warm summer months coming up. Give our friends the Peckus family a call down at Action Heating and Cooling. Or check out their website at actionwi.com, and they will make sure your air conditioning is running all through these warm summer months in Wisconsin. And the first strike on the board by Tyler Hirth. Hirth, his favorite bowler, surprisingly being a left-hander, Pete Weber, his favorite bowler, and Pete having a heck of a summer on the PBA 50 tour. Pete, the defending PBA 50 Player of the Year, looking to make it 2 in a row. And Pete with 4 consecutive wins on the PBA 50 tour, wrapping up with the PBA 50 Suncoast Senior U.S. Open. And a really bad break there for Tyler Hirth. Ball slices through aggressively on a high flush pocket hit, leaving the 6-8, and he's wasting no time. Give it a shot. Only gets the 6-pin out of that spare combination. And that's going to leave Billy Hibbard in the lead currently by 10 pins after 3.5 frames. Hibbard, definitely not a player to waste time on the approach. He knows what he wants to do with that bowling ball. Gets himself focused and gets the job done. And Ginsu's that rack. Take that 5-pin into the 7 with authority. Puts a strike on the board, looking to extend his lead out to 20 pins. Hibbard can throw a double on the board here on lane 9 at River City Lanes. I want to thank the Trojans family great hosts for this event for a great star-studded youth bowling field that came out today. And a big double on the board for Hibbard, and that is a High Five Gear 5th frame strike, $25 gift certificate for a shirt or accessories from High Five Gear with that strike. Tyler Hirth can get one of his own here. If he can bounce back from that bad break in the 4th with a strike in the 5th. Beautifully up the target line. And how can that pin stand against all that power? Tyler, if we give you that gift certificate just for a moral strike for how good you threw it, we give you that $25 High Five Gear gift certificate, but the 9-pin stands in defiance of you. Hirth will take the strike line at that spare. A little farther right, no problem covering up that single pin, but a large deficit now for Hirth, down by 20, but Hibbard working on a double. Hibbert's got a little time to think about that, though, after Hirth's 6th frame. We'll get to our commercial break for this game. That's always a tough shot to come out of. You sit around, you get a chance to think about what you need to do on the lanes, what you need to do to extend your lead. Sometimes a little bit of extra time to think can cause some mental mistakes. A great shot there by Tyler Hirth. We're going to get into our commercial break for this game. From River City Lanes, the 2016 Bowlers Pro Shop Classic rolls on. Billy Hibbard stepping up here at River City Lanes in Waterford, the 2016 Bowlers Pro Shop Classic. With a 20-pin lead for Hibbard, looking to extend it to 30. If he can strike here in the 6th frame, you watch that shoulder open up, close nicely, right on that tight target line on this 41-foot oil pattern. And just lets the ball in the back end of the lane do all the work for him. Watch that ball through the pocket nicely. No doubt all 10 pins were going into the pit on that shot. 30-pin lead, looking for 40 in the 7th for Billy Hibbard. Mom Danielle, Dad Ralph, brother Matt watching in the back, and I think the Hibbard family will approve of getting the break on that strike. Tyler Hirth, wry smile from the opponent, walking up, but when you have the ball entering the pocket the right way, you can catch some breaks. Head pin comes off the wall, takes the 4-pin forward into the 2-pin. And now Tyler Hirth has to be in mandatory strike mode to have any chance to come back in this match. That's right of target, and the full penalty is paid with the 4, 6, 7, and 10. That's pretty much going to be match over for Hirth unless he gets a miracle conversion and earns a $100 scholarship. If you can make this 4, 6, 7, and 10, can't get the bounce out of the back end. And 54 pins the deficit, 3 frames to go for Hirth. Not a bad performance by Tyler Hirth today. Averaged over 210 in qualifying on this very tough pattern. Boys field average was just over 170, so it shows you how tough the pattern play and how well both Hirth and Hibbard found success on this pattern. Tyler Hirth almost leaving the pocket 7-10, switches to the spare ball, and that's just frustration right there, ladies and gentlemen, and you can't blame him. He had a great shot for a 6-8 in the 4th frame. And the 5th frame followed up with a solid 9-pin. And meanwhile, Billy Hibbard just keeps striking. Ball change for Hibbert to try something else, and that ball, strong roll, little deflection at the back, leaves the 10-pin, and a smart thing for Hibbert to do right there. He knows the match is in hand. He knows he's advancing to the challenge match against Stephanie Fallebeck for the $100 Visa gift card bonus. And he won't get any practice when Fallebeck returns while she gets a couple of warm-up shots. So Hibbert taking the time, trying to make sure a second piece of equipment works. But once again, he shouldn't have any disturbance on his side. Fallebeck being a left-hander like Hirth, Hibbert has that left side all to himself. And when it's going your way, ladies and gentlemen, it is going your way. Another roll out of the 2-pin as Billy gives the fist bump to his dad, Ralph, at the back of the lanes. But when you have that ball working, strong rotation, good entry angle of the pocket that allows the pins to mix, good things can happen. There's Tyler Hirth. That's what we saw a lot about it, Tyler, today during qualifying. Tyler, the big finish today to make TV, 266. His final game of qualifying, bouncing back off of a 160 game to make the TV show. And I'm sure we'll see more of Tyler Hirth in the future here on our Time Warner Cable Sports Channel bowling shows. And that's fun to watch. Watching those pins get thrown around, bouncing everywhere. 7 and 10 standing no chance against the power of that young man. 4-pin leans into the 7, but the head pin would have bounced back across and taken that pin out as well. The quick steps into the approach. 4-pin can't reach the 7 that time. Hirth wanted to thank his best friend, Zach Vassy, for coming out, bowling with him today. Tight-knit group, of course, at Castle Lanes. If you're a young player in the Racine area, and you're not bowling at Castle Lanes and that tremendous youth program there, the great coaching by Red Chapman and everyone at Castle Lanes, the great support that Lenny Borsch and Bowler's Choice Pro Shop provide for the bowlers at Castle Lanes. You're really missing it. We want to thank Phil and Patty Yankel for all the support over the years. They've been with us since the beginning here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Whenever you're in Racine, make sure you stop by and throw a game or two or enjoy the lounge at Castle Lanes, as Billy Hibbert's going to be moving on, trying another piece of equipment. And boy, if you have 3 pieces of equipment that you're lined up into the pocket with on a pattern, and you're Stephanie Fallebeck, you're going to have to be wondering, how am I going to win this challenge match? But we know Stephanie can throw strikes as well, so it'll be Billy Hibbert and Stephanie Fallebeck in our challenge match for the 2016 Bowlers Pro Shop Classic, coming to you from River City Lanes in Waterford. And that challenge match will be with you after this short break.
Providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com. Why do we have so many of our televised tournaments at Castle Lanes? Because we love being part of the wild side of bowling. If you're ready to get in touch with your wild side, go to castlelanes.com.
The 2016 Bowlers Pro Shop Classic champions are crowned. Stephanie Fallebeck for the girls, Billy Hibbert for the boys. But Now it's time to see who takes home that overall title and the $100 Visa gift card bonus for winning this challenge match. Stephanie Fallebeck starting things off here on lane 9. You have to make Hibbard the prohibitive favorite. He's been averaging over 240 all day. Shot 246 in his victory over Tyler Hirth. Fallebeck only had 181 in her victory, but if Fallebeck can catch some breaks, such as that opening trip of the 4-pin on a high shot, anything can happen. Watch that head pin come back off the sideboard, takes out the 4. But when you've been throwing as good as Billy Hibbard has all day, he's back to his original piece of equipment he started with on TV. Great shot to start with. Is that messenger going to knock down the 10? No. And really, other than one extremely errant shot, last game for Hibbard, nothing but 10 pins in the books for him. Cross lane at the spare, and he gave that one a little extra on the bottom, and you could see, even with 19 feet of dry and a polyester bowling ball, you can still make a couple of boards of hook. And Hibbard hooks away from that 10 pin and leaves himself in an early deficit in this challenge match from River City Lanes in Waterford. And that's unusual for Hibbard because his fill percentage last season in District 1 of Wisconsin High School Bowling was over 90%. And now we see a ball out the window by Hibbard. Needed about an 80-foot lane on that shot to get it back to the head pin. And the 1, 2, and 4, not the easiest combination here. He's going to go with polyester. So he's going to play it really straight. Needs to make sure he gets all 3 pins with the ball. And comes up a little high on the head pin. 2 pin goes around the 4 and back-to-back opens for Hibbard. And you know, with that $100 gift card on the line and all those expenses for these kids, as they make their way to Indianapolis in July for the USBC Junior Gold Tournament, they're looking to get some expense taken care of. They can take home that $100 Visa gift card. Fallebeck, nice off the hand, and gets the 3-pin off the sideboard to trip the 6. An opening double and a big 32-pin lead for Fallebeck after 2 frames. Watch that ball, watch the 3-pin go to the sideboard. Head to the 3-pin, just takes out the 6. And for those that are questioning, well, these are high school and college athletes. How can they win prizes like Visa gift cards and still stay eligible to bowl? Well, it is within USBC regulation, the rule known as Rule 400, that they can receive merchandise awards that are not transferable for cash up to $500 in value. Great strike there for Fallebeck. Since our Visa gift cards do not have any type of PIN number, any way for the bowlers to get cash off of them, they just can buy merchandise with it, similar to how we used to give away bowling balls on our TV shows. It's well within USBC regulations for these bowlers to accept gift cards as prizes. 3 left on the deck, but they're all horizontal for Hibbard. Big bounce back strike, but still down by 42 early in our challenge match. Once again, want to thank Joe Serrar, Dennis Jarrett, Mickey Serrar for all their help throughout the years here in our Time Warner Cable Sports Channel telecast and with sponsorship of this Bowlers Pro Shop Classic today. And you knew you weren't going to be able to keep Billy Hibbard down for long. With the look he has on the lanes today, the bounce back double knocks Fallebeck's lead down to 32. With a lot of frames left in this match, Hibbard knows he's not even close to being out of it as of yet. Fallebeck, part of the Indian Trail state champion high school team this year in Division I, as they took out New Berlin Eisenhower in the championship match. And that surprises everyone here at River City Lanes. She got to the top of her backswing, tried pushing it through quicker than normal. You can see she's laughing at herself, shaking her head. She knows exactly what she did wrong, but that's going to take 10 pins away from her lead over Hibbard, and it could be reduced even further if Fallebeck cannot convert the full rack for the spare. Much better off the hand. And you can see the difference where that ball got to the top of the swing. It wasn't forced down into the release, and Fallebeck's still kicking herself for that first shot in the fourth frame. But so all you can do is shake it off, refocus, get all 10 down, keep a mark on the board, and keep your lead. And 22 pins is still going to require Hibbard to throw a few more strikes in a row to catch up to Fallebeck. Getting into our high five gear fifth frame, another $25 gift certificate for high five gear. Clothing or accessories on the line for each of these players. The great slide to the line, the great roll. And what should be the front five for Fallebeck ends up being a strike on a spare, but $25 in high five gear gift certificates going into her pocket. Hibbard can cut the lead to 12. If you can throw a turkey. Good off the hand once again. Lane 10 being the troublesome lane for the right-handers. With 10 pins, the ball just not coming all the way up to the pocket. Playing a little bit tighter down the lane. And Hibbard needs to make sure he does not repeat his first frame errant shot at the 10 pin. Much easier on the conversion. No problem with that spare. But instead of being down by 12, Hibbard down by 23 with half a game remaining in this challenge match in the Bowlers Pro Shop Classic. The good plant at the line, the good strong roll on the back end, kicks that 10 pin out into our last commercial break from the day. We'll be back from River City Lanes as the 2016 Bowlers Pro Shop Classic rolls on, and we'll have our challenge match champion determined after this break. ...2016 Bowlers Pro Shop Classic Challenge match from River City Lanes in Waterford. Stephanie Fallebeck stepping up in her sixth frame. 23 pins is her lead. Looking to add to her winnings already today with a $100 Visa gift card. Thanks to the Terosian family and River City Lanes. And that ball just wide. You can see the timing a little off again. She gets a little too quick with that third and fourth step. And her rhythm has to force the ball down, and with her shoulder positioning throughout the swing, if she makes a miss when that happens, it's to the left. And a tough spare to cover here with the washout. Needs to hook it across. Doesn't quite get through the head pin enough. And now we have ourselves a match coming out of the commercial break. You looked at this score after 3 frames. 42 pins was Fallebeck's lead with her opening 3-bagger. But the gutter ball she threw in the fourth picked up the spare, however. And now that washout that she failed to convert in the sixth. Hibbard's been clean with a double since the third frame, and that $100 Visa gift card definitely up for grabs with 4 frames to go. And a slight overcorrection from the last errant shot, leaving the 4 and the 7. Indian Trail, part of the winning team that Fallebeck was part of for Division I high school bowling this season. They're the number 1 seed going into that stepladder final. Dominated the field, dominated the final match, winning by 60 pins over New Berlin Eisenhower. Fallebeck really looking forward to starting college at Robert Morris University in Chicago in September, and that, both on the men's and women's side, has been a powerhouse for quite a few years. Billy Hibbard, working on a strike, can knock another 10 pins off of Fallebeck's lead here in the 7th. Good out of the hands, but once again the ball can't quite finish through the pocket properly. Sandman tries to put that 10 pin to bed, but fails to do so. And that lead will remain at 11 pins for Fallebeck. If Hibbard can convert the 10 pin spare. Easy off the hand, no problem with that conversion. But with 3 frames remaining, maximum score for Hibbard, 217. However, 228 for Fallebeck is the maximum. Hibbard needs to start putting some additional pressure on Fallebeck, starting with a strike on this shot. Good out of the hands, and the wrap 10. That is just a vicious blow to Hibbard's hopes of winning this match. You can see Billy, he's never been one to waste time. He knows what he wants to do. Gets back on the approach, gets the focus back to where it needs to be, doesn't dwell on the bad break on the ring 10. Covers the spare up nicely, but 12 pins is now Hibbard's deficit. Fallebeck stepping up in the 8th frame. Next event coming up here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Be coming to you from Sunset Bowl in Waukesha. The 2016 Barbier's Italian Inn Open. I want to thank Mark Dempsey for all of his sponsorship with Barbier's since the beginning here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. We'll be starting our 10th season of telecasts here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel beginning in September. Hard to believe it's been 10 years that we've brought televised bowling back to Wisconsin, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without the great assistance of our friends at Time Warner Cable, and soon to be, with the merger of Time Warner and Charter, Spectrum as well. We're looking forward to being part of that well into their future. Fallebeck looking for the double, and the half 7. She kind of knew it out of her hand. Not the clean release she was looking for. Didn't give it the proper rotation. Watch that ball in the replay. It's just a little weak getting in. Drives through the 8-pin spot. And now to maintain the lead, Fallebeck on the 7-pin. Took the little extra time to compose herself. Made sure she was all over that 7-pin. And the lead remains at 12. Billy Hibbard cannot shut out Fallebeck, even with striking out here in the 9th and 10th. But if he strikes on this shot, he can force Fallebeck to match what he throws in the 10th. And you just saw Hibbard keep that ball a little straighter on target line. Knew it needed to face up a little bit earlier on the lane to make sure he took the 10-pin out, as he had failed to do on the last 2 shots on lane 10. He's got to feel pretty confident coming in here on lane 9 to put a double up on the board and force Fallebeck to get a strike. The light hit. 6-pin does not do the job on the 10. It's not over yet for Hibbard, though. He can make this spare and strike for 186, and that would force Fallebeck to get any mark in the 10th frame. If Fallebeck were to go 9 miss in the 10th, it would also be 186, and we'd have a single ball roll-off to break a tie. So Hibbard knows every pin is important right here. Gets the 10 pin. He's going to focus again. Takes the quick glance at the scoreboard to make sure. Knows the strike here forces a mark out of follow back. Sometimes all it takes is that little extra pressure when a bowler has a single pin up. But the miss is made. Gets the 10 out. Hibbard in the clubhouse at 186, and now it is up to Stephanie Followback. She wants to take home this challenge match title and the $100 Visa gift card bonus. The winner of this match, any mark is needed. 9 miss, we would have a tie. Quick 3, 4, 5 to the line in the steps, and then again the half 7 follow back, but you can see not a lot of emotion on the way back. She knows there's a job to do. She knows the single pin needs to be made. She'll take a little extra time on the approach, you see, making sure she's set up properly. Looks down at the bowling ball. A deep exhale right before she goes. It's on line, needs to not hook away, and she gets the 7 pin down. Still, I don't think a full exhale yet. But even with a gutter ball on this last shot, she would still win 187 to 186. So the title is in hand for Followback. She takes home the challenge match. And I'll be back to wrap up this 2016 Bowlers Pro Shop Classic from River City Lanes after a word from the sponsors.
Providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com. Barbier's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mountain Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee.
Stephanie Followback came out hot early on in a challenge match against Billy Hibbard, getting an opening 3-bagger to take an early lead. Meanwhile, Billy Hibbard had a chance to come back at the end of the game with a couple of badly timed 10 pins. But Stephanie Followback come back with a mark in the 10th frame and take home the Bowlers Pro Shop Classic Challenge Match Championship. Our next event will come to you from Sunset Bowl, the Barbier's Italian Inn Open. I'm Phil Bridlow, parents, take the kids bowling, they'll have fun for life. And we'll see you back next time on the lanes from Sunset Bowl in Waukesha.